Hey guys, it's me, Travis, the CEO and founder of PlayerProps.ai. This video is going to quickly go over all of the nooks and crannies on how you win more of your player props by using the award-winning Player Prop Predictor on the PlayerProps.ai app. Now, there's a few things we have to cover before we hop into every single detail you see on screen, and we're going to cover all of it. By the time you're done watching this video, you should not have any other questions, but if you do, that's okay. You have to just ask the follow-up questions if you have any in the Discord, which is the next point I want to talk about. If you want to have the same level of success as everybody in the Discord, you have to be in the Discord. You dramatically curb your chances of being a successful bettor by avoiding joining the Discord. It is mandatory. This entire platform, the process, the strategies, everything is this one big picture. You get the app, which is what you're watching the video for, to learn how to use the app, and you get into the Discord. You have to do both. Make sure when you join the Discord, you go back to your PlayerProps.ai profile page. There's going to be a button that says Connect Discord on it. It's going to literally say that on the button. You tap on that, and that's what opens up all your channels. You have to join it. There's an insane amount of value there. As of recording, there's over 18,000 people in it that are working together every single day using the PlayerProps.ai app to win more often and lose less, which of course is your overall goal. So now that we've covered those bases, you know that you need to subscribe to this YouTube channel, you know that you need to get into the Discord. Let's start talking about how to use the AI Player Prop Predictor on the PlayerProps.ai app. So the first things, we're just going to start from the top and go all the way to the bottom of every single thing you see on screen. So the top left here, you can see the mouse scrolling around. This is the profile button. So when you click on this, this takes you to your profile page. You just click on it now, and boom, you're at your profile page. Now, I have already connected my Discord. If you have already connected your Discord successfully, you'll see a Disconnect Discord button. If you have not connected your Discord, it'll say Connect Discord. You just tap on that, and that's what syncs your accounts. But if you aren't in the Discord yet, that's not going to do you much good. So you have to make sure you get in the Discord server first. And it's pretty easy. All you have to do is click on the Discord logo here in the top right. You click on this, get into the Discord, then you go to the profile page and click the Connect Discord button. Right here, this is the calendar. It's more important than you think. For example, we see NFL here, and I'm recording this on a Wednesday during the NFL season. So when we click on NFL, what is it going to tell us? It's going to tell us there's no NFL games today. So what do? You go to the calendar here. Wednesday the 12th is when we're recording this. There is a game on Thursday Night Football. So I simply change the calendar date to the 13th, and that is where I see NFL data. So the information shown maps to the date here, and it's always going to show you the date of the current date, the date you're looking at. So just make sure that you are, if you're looking for a sport for a particular day, we want to look at Sunday football, we can click here. Monday Night Football, we can click here. College football Saturday, we click here. Just make sure the date here and the day of the week is what you're looking for. But now let's just go back and focus on today's games, which of course, we have a lot of them. We have college basketball, there's college football today, NBA, NHL. These are always going to show the available sports that are live in season. This is a search bar. Now you're looking at the player prop predictor, so typically you're going to search player names. So let's say, for example, we were looking to find Steven Adams if he wasn't showing up on top. We just type in Adams here, and then it's going to only show people with the name Adams. And luckily for NBA, there's one playing today. Right here, this is going to send you to the YouTube channel you're watching this video on right now. Make sure that you are subscribed, and not only subscribe to this channel, which is 100% free to do, but that you click the little bell notification icon. So after you tap subscribe, also tap on the bell. I do shows Monday through Friday throughout the entire year that teach you how to better use the app to win more and lose less. Make sure that bell notification, you toggle that, because every time I drop a new video, you're going to be the first one to know about it. And you don't want to watch a video like 20 days later if I'm talking about an NBA game that day. This button we just told you about, this is the button that sends you to the Discord server. You only ever need to tap this once. Once you tap on this, you're in the Discord, and then of course you want to go over here and click this to connect your accounts. This here, this star, this is your favorites list. So when we click on this, it'll show you any bet you've added to your favorites. But right now, it's empty because we haven't added any. So let's say, for example, we really like the Steven Adams play. Just for example, not saying that we do. we like, oh, we really like this, so we're going to add this to our favorites list. We're going to turn this, click here, tap on this on your phone or desktop, whatever you're using this on. Make this go from gray to green, yellow. Let's say we also like Marcus Smart. We can click on that. Now, when we go back to the star, it'll show us the 2 players we've just added. So it's kind of a way to keep track. Now that we're here, we know that we have 2 NBA bets. It says NBA. We know the game that the bets are for, what time, the name of the player, and then the bet that the projection the AI was saying. So the AI was saying that it's should go over 5.5, should go over 8.5, and then these stars here. This is a really neat feature as well. This shows you how many other players or users of PlayerProps.ai have added that exact same prediction to their favorites list. So as of right now, as of recording this early in the morning, I'm the only person that has Steven Adams on my favorite list because he's probably not even a good play to start with. I just clicked it for the example. But there's at least 3 other people, including me, to make 4, that have Marcus Smart over 8.5 points added to their favorites list. So this is something also to kind of let you know, are you the only person that likes this thing? Or do a lot of the community like this play as well? If you want to clear it, you can clear them individually by just clicking the trash can, or you can click the tap on the top, the clear all button. You can do that as well. And then, yeah, the favorites list, you can tap on it. It'll send you right to the player page as well if you wanted to look for that. So now let's go back to, that's what the favorites list is. You can clear it, clear all. It'll take everything off the list that way. And let's get back to other things here. So this how to win button, this is one of the most important things you can do to set yourself up for success. This button will take you to a how to win page, but it will automatically show you how to use the player prop predictor. Chances are you see this video that you're watching right now because you clicked on this and then watched the video. We also have a lot of text for people who don't like watching videos. You can just read essentially all the things that I'm going through. But then this button is important for every other tool on the app. And we have about 10 plus, almost, I think we're going to be at 15 soon, 15 tools. Every single tool on the app has this button up top. It'll take you to the page and it will specifically focus on the tool you're looking at. There's no point to trying to guess what this app information is telling you before you watch this video and before you click on this button. This is step 1 for learning how to use it. And then, of course, as I mentioned, if you have more questions after watching, that's 100% okay. We encourage questions. There's no such thing as a dumb question in the Discord. Just make sure you click on this to join it and then go here to sync it to open up the channels. Please ask questions. The only people that can't be successful are the people that give up, never ask questions, never ask for help, or never try in the first place. That's what that button's for. It helps you learn how to use the things on PlayerProps.ai. I just went through this. This filters by sport. So if I want to watch college basketball props, I go here. If I want an NHL props, I go here. This is pretty self-explanatory. But again, if you click on something that's in season, but there's nothing for the day, you just have to change the calendar to go to it. So we're going to go back to NBA here. Now we're going to go to this next row. This is a filter option here. So right now, this line that says Steven Adams 5.5 points, this is from DraftKings. But maybe we want to look at FanDuel. It'll change it to FanDuel lines. Maybe we want to look at BetMGM. It'll change it to BetMGM lines where Steven Adams is no longer on top because maybe he doesn't have a 5.5 line for that. Or maybe his bet score is different, which we're going to get to in a second. If you want to filter by line, let's say we don't want to see anybody with points lines that are lower than 15, which is a requirement for our trifectas, which we'll get into in a second. So we moved the lower possible line to 15. So when you click apply here, the lowest line for points is 15. You won't see any players here that have a points line lower than 15. If you want to get rid of this, you can just click reset, you can click apply, and then it gets rid of that filter. If you want to filter where people have a AI accuracy of 45 and higher, you can do that. You can filter where people have a difference of 11 or higher. So you can click around and do all these different things. Maybe you don't want to see anybody that's a super, super heavy favorite, maybe only a minus 160 favorite or higher. You can do that as well. So that's what the filter does. It filters everything on terms of what it shows and in terms of what the sportsbooks lines show here. The next thing here is the stat you want to look at. So let's say we're looking at points, which is the default if you're a premium member, but we want to look at rebounds. click on rebounds. Now, if you don't click off of points, it'll show you points, not points plus rebound stat, but point stats and rebound stats. So if you don't want points, you can just click off points and it'll only show rebounds. So all of this is for rebounds. We're gonna go back to points here and continue going along. The next stop, this is what you're sorting by. The default sort, as of this recording, is difference. So difference is right here. This difference for Buddy Hield is 55%. Now, your next question is, okay, what is difference? This is the percentage difference by taking the number under the projection, which is what the AI is saying, and the number here in the sportsbook, what the line is, which is what the sportsbooks are saying. So 8.51 is the AI projection for points for Buddy. 5.5 is his line from the sportsbook. And what sportsbook? BetMGM, because that's what's selected here. 8.51 is a 55% positive difference over 5.5. So it's simply just saying, what is the gap between what the AI is saying and what the sportsbooks are saying? It's a 55% gap. And then if this was 55% less, then you would see minus 55% here. And we'll get to that in a second. That is what you sort by, difference. You can sort by who's had the highest hit rate in the last 5 games. All the people here are sorted by who has hit their current line every single game, or the highest hit rate. Maybe there's no players that have a 100% hit rate, but there's a lot that have a 100% hit rate for points. These players have hit every single game in the last 5 games of their current points line. We can do last 10, we can do the season, we can sort by projection. Who has the highest projected points today? This is useful for fantasy sports. If you're doing fantasy football or fantasy basketball or anything like that, and you want to have the highest projected scoring person for points on your roster, out of every player, regardless of anything else, the AI thinks Cade Cunningham will score more points than anybody else today, even more than Luka, which is barely slightly lower than his 32.87 projection. So that's what that sorts by, the AI projection. You can sort by accuracy. Accuracy is this number here, right next to trifecta, which we'll get to in a second. Accuracy is out of every single game that we have projected for that player and that stat, how many times was the direction the AI was leaning correct? This isn't how many times the player hit their line. That's what this data is for down here, the reds and the greens. This is how often the AI was correct. And the number here is how many games has the AI predicted for them. So if we go down to, let's just look at fears here. So there's 9 games where the AI is predicted that Fears is either going to go higher than his line or lower than his points line. Doesn't matter what the line is. It's just 9 games where it said he's probably going to go under or he's probably going to go over. Out of those 9 games, AI has been correct 77.8% of the time. There's only 1 game that the AI as of recording has predicted a points total over or under for Cam Christie. And that 1 game, they got it right. So it's a 100% hit rate. So pay attention to these numbers here. If you want to sort by the people that have the highest hit rates or highest accuracy, AI accuracy rates, you can select accuracy here. Head-to-head, this is specific to the players versus the team that they're playing today. So this says Cole Anthony, out of every game he's played against his opponent, which is the Charlotte Hornets, after every game he's played against them in the last 365 days, how many times has he gotten 9.5 points? 100% of those games. You can actually go to Cole Anthony if you want to see the games themselves. You can click on Cole Anthony, and then you can go down here to the bottom right and tap H2H, and it'll show you in the last 365 days, he's played Charlotte twice. Once at Charlotte, once at home. And we're going to get through more of this stuff on this page in a second. And then you see 16 points here, 13 points here. Now, of course, you have to factor in that he played on a different team. He was on the Orlando Magic at the time and not on the Milwaukee Bucks. But it still shows that he's hit this line twice. So now let's go back to the Player Prop Predictor. There's a very new feature that we have added to all of our tools. It is called Bet Score. We may change the name, but for right now, it's called Bet Score. So this is what this green bar is right here. This is the Bet Score. The lowest Bet Score is 1. The highest Bet Score is 100. We also color code it. So let's go back to sorting by difference. So you see here, this player has a 68, so it's yellow. I'm trying to see here. So if it's 90 or higher, It's this purple pink. So if you see this, this is boom. This is in the 90%. This is 90 or higher on a bet score. I think it's 80 to 90s green. I believe it's maybe like 50 to 70 something is yellow. But the bet score, why we created that is there's a lot of people that once they watch this video, clicks right away from them and they go, okay, I've watched enough of Travis's shows on YouTube. I've asked enough questions in Discord that I have a pretty good understanding of how to find a good bet. But there's still a lot of people out there, and the reason that we're so successful is that we cater to everybody. Even if you're a day one person who doesn't know anything about basketball or betting or anything, this is the app for you. There's still a few people out there that's like, I watch all the videos, but I don't know what questions to ask. I just don't know if I know 100% on what's a good play and what's a not good play. So all of the things I talk about of, is it a trifecta, which we're going to get to in a second. What's the accuracy? What's the implied chance based on what the sports books are saying? What's the AI projection? What are all these things to factor in? I've been teaching you how to factor them in, but now we took it an extra step by making a value that's solely based on factoring in all of the information on screen. So you know, if once you're looking at it, I think this is a good play. Well, 81, that's green, so that's a good bet score. Or maybe you're looking at Jared Vanderbilt and you're like, oh, this was a good projection, I think, for his points, but oh, it's a 68. Maybe I want to avoid that one. So now we spent 2 years teaching you how to read all this information to determine if it's a good bet or not. But now to make it even easier, we've taken your research from hours, and version 1.0 and version 2.0 shaved it down to minutes. What the bet score does is it takes your minutes of research and it shaves it down to seconds. So now if you're at a red light on your way home and it's 6:55 p.m. and the first NBA games tip off in 5 minutes at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and you're at a red light, you shouldn't be texting and driving, so don't do that. But if let's say you're at a very long red light, you're stuck in front of a train, whatever it may be. You quickly pull this up. Okay, let's sort by bet score. Who's got the highest bet scores today on PlayerProps.ai? Now, I don't want you to make this a blind bet. And what I mean by that is I don't want you to simply say 89, boom, lock it in. I still want you to look at the stuff here on the screen. I'm fine if this catches your attention first, but please still pay attention to the defensive matchup. Orlando versus point guards, they have a pretty bad defense when it comes to allowing points. They're 132nd out of 150. So yeah, I'll consider that, but maybe it's red. Everything here is important. Everything is important. Just make sure you're not just blindly locking in these bet scores. Now, the best part about bet score is we're creating it to be an AI feature. And what I mean by that is that we're creating it in a way that it learns and corrects itself. So let's say these three plays here are 89 bet scores, and the AI is leaning on the over for all of them. Let's say they all miss their over. The AI that we've built into bet score will then be like, okay, so clearly the formulas that created this high bet score were maybe slightly off because there's a lot of people that missed. Then it just kind of self-updates. And so it keeps refining itself where the bet score just gets better and better, just like the AI projections do for the players. So it's kind of the same concept. So it's super new right now. So you make sure you pay attention to all of these things. But maybe in a year from now, hopefully, who knows? Maybe we'll get to a spot where you can just blindly see an 89 and lock it in. That'd be great. But still pay attention to all the stuff on the screen here. That's what the bet score is. That's what we sort by when we choose bet score. Trifecta. You see the word trifecta here on every player, but just because the word is here and this box is here does not mean every player is a trifecta. There's a button here that has a T on it. This is the trifecta button. When we tap on the trifecta button, it'll show us players that are trifecta plays. But at the moment, there's only one trifecta play and it's on the under. So you see here how this trifecta is now highlighted with this purple-pink background. When you see this, this means this player is a trifecta for the under because we have the under selected. Something else I want to add to bet score before we continue moving on. The bet score changes based on the side you choose. So let me untoggle the here. So you see how Jordan Clarkson is an 89 bet score for his over points specifically. Let's say you were looking at his under points. It's like, hold the phone. Don't get crazy. His under bet score is a 12. So if you're like, I'm not sure which direction this is trying to tell me to go. Well, this helps. It's an 89 score on the over and a 12 on the under. So it's essentially saying, please, for the love of all that's holy, don't bet under. So just make sure that you pay attention to that as well. That's something else I wanted to get into. So yeah, let's go back to the predictor. So that was the trifecta button. And the trifecta, you might ask a question of what is a trifecta? So remember earlier when I said it's very important that you get into the community Discord. There's a channel in Discord once you unlock your channels, again, by going to your profile page and clicking the Connect Discord button that says trifectas. It's very important you go there, you read through the channel, and you watch the video that's at the bottom of that channel. Trifectas is what we created as quick check marks of things you should look at when it comes to a potential bet, whether it's a prop or other kind of bet or whatever it may be. But for points, for example, if you pull up the Discord, it'll say for points, you want to have the minimum line to be 15. The AI has to favor the side the sportsbooks have to favor the same side the AI does. So here, the AI favors the over because the AI is higher. So that's why it favors the over. If it was less than this line, then it would favor the under. So for Marcus Smart, for example, the AI favors the over. But because the sportsbooks are minus 115, you see here, it's minus 115 on the over and minus 115 on the over. It means they're the same odds either way. So the BetMGM does not favor either side. It's even. So because it doesn't favor either side, it doesn't count towards the trifecta. It has to have specifically three main things. It has to have a certain value for the line. It has to have a certain side that the AI projects, and then it has to have a certain difference as well. So maybe so let's say, for example, if the sportsbooks implied or they favored the over for Marcus Smart points going over, maybe it's like, let's just say it's like minus 115 over minus 105 under, so that means they favor the over. The AI favors the over, but let's say his line is 8.5 and the AI projection is 8.6, for example. The difference is not that great. Because there's only a 0.1 difference between the projection and the points, it's not going to be a trifecta. We try to highlight when there's a big difference, a big edge, a big gap, whatever you want to call it. We call it a difference where, hey, the AI is saying this person's going to definitely not definitely, but they have a really high chance to overperform, or they have a really high chance to underperform. So those are things to pay attention to as well. But those factors, so when we first launched version 2.0, you would have to look at the Discord channel, look at what the trifecta requirements were. Okay, what does the line have to be for points? What does the difference have to be for points? And then you would have to look at the app at the same time. So in version somewhere like 2.5, we added the highlights. So now you know, without having to go back and forth, does this player qualify as a trifecta based on the rules in the trifectas channel in Discord, or do they not? That T button here, if they are a trifecta, they will highlight. So now we have an over, we have the over toggled. Over trifecta, there's one player right now on FanDuel Sportsbook for NBA points. Shaden Sharp, you see how it's highlighted here. He's a trifecta. His line is high enough to be a trifecta. The sportsbooks favor the same side the AI does. AI likes the over because his projection's higher than the line, and the difference is high enough, so that's why he's a trifecta. So you can focus on trifectas, you can focus on bet scores, you can focus on unders or overs, but that's what the trifecta button does. And this, I've kind of already explained it. This is showing you unders, so it sorts by the best bet scores for under plays for points. If I wanted to see the best plays for under points based on the difference, then I could choose this. So it's just all this information of how it sorts is based on what you're selecting in this row. This here is somewhat self-explanatory. This just simply shows you all of the games. So there are, let me click off of that. Click too many things there. So there are a lot of games, NBA games today. We can scroll, we can see all the games. Let's say there's one particular game. Let's say you're an Orlando Magic fan like myself, and you specifically want to look at player props for the Knicks and a Magic game. You tap on it, and then when you scroll to the left here, you see how it's kind of highlighted and the other ones are a little bit darker? It's only filtering players from this game. You can choose multiple games. Maybe you care about this game and you also care about Chicago versus Detroit. Tap on Chicago versus Detroit. Now these two games are highlighted. All the players you see are from Chicago versus Detroit and Knicks versus Orlando. You can either tap them to untoggle them, or simply click all again, and then it just resets to the basic. So that is all the information up here. Now let's focus on, we've kind of touched a lot of it already, of the data you see on the screen here in this box, but let's go through it a little bit more. Player name, the position the player normally is playing. So he's normally a shooting guard. That's what SG stands for. His team is Oklahoma City. He's versing the LA Lakers. The date of this game is 11/12. The time of this game is 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. This is a very important feature for NBA. There are 5 positions in NBA: point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. There are 30 NBA teams. So if you take 5 times 30, that's 150 different values. So out of every matchup of player or team versus certain position, the LA Lakers rank 74th out of 150, which is like smack dab in the middle of allowing points to players playing in the shooting guard spot, which is what Isaiah Joe's doing. So that's why it's yellow. It's right there in the middle. If it's red, like it is for Cam Christie here, if it's all of the colors we have for the defensive matchups are color coordinated to make it easier for you. If you're going over, you want something that's green. If you're going under, you want something that's red. Because we're looking at under here, so we're looking at over here, and we're looking at under here, right? Because we're looking at under, I want to see red. So when I see Cam Christie, I'm like, oh, or Nikola Vucevic. Oh, I see red here. I'm looking at under. This is something I can consider. We know it's under because under is selected, because the projection is lower than the line, and because the difference is a negative value. It's negative 29% different because the projection is lower than the line. So those are some things to consider for that, specific for NBA. Not every single sport has the same exact ranking system, but they're all color-coded to help you out. So you can ask questions in Discord, which is extremely recommended if you have any questions. But essentially, if you're looking at over, you want this text to be green. If you're looking at under, you want it to be red. And then yellow is in the middle regardless. So that's what that is there. Go to the right, we already explained bet score. This is the stat that you chose. So PTS is points. It shows points here. This is the current line, the points line for Isaiah Joe that is available on FanDuel Sportsbook as of the 2nd. So it's showing you this is what the line is. Here, this is the odds that FanDuel specifically has for Isaiah Joe for his points line. The under for Isaiah Joe on FanDuel, I don't want to click this because I don't want to go to the player page. His under is minus 108. And if we tap on him, so minus 108 is the under, and minus 122 is the over. So FanDuel actually favors him going over, even though our AI is saying he probably isn't going to go over. When you have conflicting information, here's a good lesson that I have to remind everybody a lot, is there's always 3 options with every bet. Option A, you go one side. Option B, you go the other side. Or option C, you just don't touch the bet at all and you fade it. Fade means not betting. So if we're seeing that the sportsbooks are favoring the over, but the AI is favoring the under, this just tells me, you know what? I'm not going to touch this bet. Keep looking for other ones. You don't want to just force something. You don't want to force, oh, I'm going to go over because the sportsbooks like the over, or I'm going to go under because AI likes the under. Pay attention to all the information on the screen. Does it make you want to go one direction, the other direction, or should you not bet it at all? There's always 3 options. Just because something is telling you not to go over does not mean it's telling you to go under. It's telling you to look at everything and then assess from that. Is it option A, option B, option C? 3 options with every bet. Since the data on the prop predictor is the same as the data here, we call this our player info screen. It's the same data you see here. So let's just keep going through this. So the accuracy I already told you about. So there's 70 games that Isaiah Joe has played in the NBA where we have our AI has projected his points is going to go higher or lower than his line. And we've been right 44.3% of the time. When this number gets low, like below 40, that doesn't mean the AI is bad. It means the player themselves are unpredictable. They overperform when they're supposed to underperform and vice versa. So this helps us know how predictable is a player. You typically never, ever, ever want to go below 40%. You're aiming for something for coin flip stuff like player props. You're aiming for things somewhere around like a prime accuracy is like 60% or higher. Don't go below 40. There's probably a lot better bets out there than a player that has a sub 40 accuracy. There's math. So this says minus 122. there is a simple math equation of what anytime you see an odd of three numbers, so a minus symbol and 3 numbers, that's the odds. Anytime you see that, it always means what the implied chances that the sports books, FanDuel here, because that's what the sports book is selected, what is the implied chance of the sports book giving this player of hitting their line? On the over, the sports books give this player a 54.95 implied chance. That number is simply a formula that you tie to the odds here. So every time on anything you ever see, for any type of bet, any sports book, minus 122 always means a 54.95% implied chance. On the under odds of minus 108, it means a 51.92% implied chance. So this implied chance is not a projection. This is simply what the sports books are leaning or are saying is going to happen based on the odds they assign the side you're looking at. So they have an implied chance for the under of 51.92, an implied chance of 54.95%. So again, because this number is higher, they are favoring the over. Projection, already went over this. This is the AI projection. Percentage difference, already went over this. It's the difference between the AI projection and the available line. This little I didn't go over this here on this page yet, but if you want to see the rosters, this I stands for information. You tap on that and you'll see here is the projected roster for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Here's the people that are either out or possibly inactive. This is the home team. Home is selected. The away team here is their projected roster. Here are some people that are either already out or possibly inactive. So those are things to pay attention to as well. This Bet Now button is a cool feature that we built in, that if you have DraftKings or DraftKings Sportsbook or FanDuel Sportsbook, instead of you saying, oh, I like this player, let me go find him on the app, you can actually tap the Bet Now button and then click Bet Now on DraftKings. It'll automatically pull up your DraftKings Sportsbook, and it'll have over 13.5. Is this Isaiah Joe still? Yeah, Isaiah Joe over 13.5 preloaded in your DraftKings Sportsbook, where all you have to determine is how much you're going to be betting on them after that. And the same button works for here. Working in more sportsbooks to be available in the immediate future. But for right now, DraftKings and FanDuel will auto-load those so you don't have to search for them. Makes it very, very easy. Here, this is a game-by-game bar graph. It has a lot of it has extended information. So we know Isaiah Joe in his last game, which was technically yesterday, he scored 18 points. He shot 4 for 11 field goals. So he shot 11 shots, made 4 of them. He played 29 minutes, and he had 4 personal fouls. That's the information there. And this also will tell you if it's at Sacramento, at Portland, it was an away game. If it doesn't have the at symbol like here at Pelicans, it was a home game. This shows you by default the last 10 games. If you want to see the last 5, only the last 20, this season specifically, or versing this team, the same team he's versing today, you can click H2H, which stands for head-to-head. Let's say, for example, you have a sports book that, for whatever reason, maybe we don't have built in. So maybe your sports book's not one of these, right? But your sports book has a line of 14.5. You can tap on this twice. It goes up by 0.5 each time. And all of this data here will update based on the line you put in. Maybe you want to look at 11 or 11.5. Okay, his hit rate went up because he's hit this a lot more at a 10.5 line. So it doesn't matter the sports book that it says up here. This actually really doesn't matter because this information applies no matter what book you use. But you can also play around with this if you want to kind of see a cool bar graph change based on the values you choose. This shows line movement. So if his line went to like 14.5 at a certain time of the day, it'll go up. If it went down to 12.5, it'll go down. So for this player, for FanDuel, his line hasn't changed, but there's a lot of line movement for a lot of other players as people bet on them and news happens. Instead of you going up here and changing to every single stat we have a projection for Isaiah Joe, you can just come here real quick to the projection spot. These are all of the projections for all the stats we have him for. His 3-point made projection, his free throw mades, his minutes played, points plus assists, points plus rebounds, points, prize picks, fantasy score, rebounds. Those are all things we have projections for. So that's why they show here. You may also notice that these are red and this is white. So Going down one more, last 10 games. This is what Isaiah Joe has actually averaged in his last 10 NBA games. These are the stats, right? So if the projection is higher than his last 10 game average, it'll be green. If it's lower, it'll be red. If it's equal, it'll be white. But it's almost never going to be equal. But because his three-point made projection is less than his average he's done the last 10 games, that's why all these are red. So he's projecting to do less, essentially overall, than he's been averaging his last 10 games. Always something to pay attention to. Always pay attention to the minutes as well. So if you're like, oh, he's hit this a lot. He's hit this a lot because he's played 25 minutes on average. But this tonight, he's only projected to get about 19 minutes. So he's going to get a little bit less playing time. That's what's projected anyway. So pay attention to that for NBA. Playing time is very, very important because if you're not on the court, you can't do things. But ladies and gentlemen, that is in a nutshell how to use the player prop predictor and how to use the how to play around with the player info page. It's part of that as well. If there's any questions whatsoever, please, for the love of all that's holy, ask me in the Discord. That's why it exists. You must join the Discord. There are no excuses. If you don't know what Discord is, it's a free-to-download app. It's a community chat room app. You download the Discord. Then when you create your free account on Discord, you go back to PlayerProps.ai, click the Discord logo in the top right. Then, after you do that, you go back to PlayerProps.ai, click the profile icon on the top left, and then click the button that says Connect Discord, and that's what opens up all the wonderful channels where you can join over 18,000 people who are more than happy to help you every single day. There's a lot of guarantees we have. One of them is I guarantee that you're not going to find a more welcoming, a more friendly, a more helpful betting Discord on the planet than the one that PlayerProps.ai has put together. It's a guarantee situation. There's no toxicity. There's no making fun of anybody. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Do not feel afraid to ask, but also you're not forced to talk to other people if you don't want to. But it's just a way of learning from others who have been here for at least 2+ years, crushing it. You see people in Discord dropping winning screenshots every day. You can ask them questions, learn from them, and it's all just a helpful community using the PlayerProps.ai app to win together. It's simple as that. We'll see you guys in Discord. If you have any questions, simply ask me there. And then good luck with your betting journey. See you guys.